Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Shut Up and Enjoy. I am one of your hosts. This week, I might just shut up and not enjoy, joined by my fellow co-host. I tried to enjoy it. Really, I did. Um, this week, if you haven't already guessed by our names of the week, we watched Madam Webb, new Sony in partnership with Marvel Studios, Spider-Verse, but not really, but kind of, but sort of. Movie that came out last weekend. And I'm gonna take a drink of my cocktail.
I'm just
Without
going to read the quick synopsis of what it was that we watched, and then we can just get into it, I
any
guess.
words about it.
Yeah, here we go. Madam Webb. Cassandra Webb is a New York City paramedic who starts to show signs of clairvoyance. Forced to confront revelations about her past, she must protect three young women from a mysterious adversary who wants them dead. There you have it. That
Okay.
is the synopsis of the film we watched.
This might be the shortest episode ever because I was raised with a few simple principles. One of them is if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us this week. It has been a great.
Take care, everyone.
Oh, so
Whew.
this whole thing was a movie
It was a movie. This
that
is true.
was experienced.
We saw it. Yes.
Okay, we didn't like it. We agreed with the critics on this one. We
Spoiler
didn't
alert.
like it. It wasn't good. It was the closest I have ever come to walking out of a movie. And believe you me, I have watched some shitty movies.
Same.
Um, it was painful. The plot, the writing, the acting. I don't know whose fault it was or if it was everyone's fault. The whole the biggest thing with the plot was it was one of those stupid spoiler alert, whatever, stupid time loop things where the bad guy saw that the three girls were going to kill him, so he tried to kill the three girls, which then gave the three girls motivation to try to kill him. Like,
Yep.
this is one of those things where you don't look at your own future because if you try to prevent it, more often than not, you're going to end up causing that future.
Exactly. And that is
Like,
exactly what happened. Uh,
it was
it,
like juvenile, almost like a Star Trek, like Star Trek 4, like time travel logic. The
yes.
neutrinos are creating a physical reaction, so we need John Cusack to save the world in 2012 type bullshit. Like,
It was almost it was almost a old school movie of the week type thing where it's on TV, you're young, you don't know any better. So it's this is wow, people are running around and jumping around and fighting and everything. But just to try to put some sort of cohesiveness to this review, I guess we're gonna call it kind of sort of, the things that didn't make sense, kind of like you said. So he saw his future. Ezekiel sees his future. These women are going to throw him out of a window, out of a building, the building that he currently lives in. Could have just moved.
or, don't be a dick.
Or that. Right. He also so we saw what he saw, which was getting thrown out of a window, falling to his death. But multiple times in the movie, he's jumped from high places and just landed.
He fine.
He good. Yeah, it wasn't. Again, just the start. That was the start of the plot. That is the catalyst for what we were presented. Not good.
Yeah. Um, I actually tried today and over the week to think of some legitimate positives to come from this.
Okay.
I do think I think the suit looked cool, his suit.
But was it necessary? You can keep going, but we'll
No,
get back to that.
I don't think it was necessary. I do think it looked cool. It looked like a cool version of a spider suit. The CGI for him like crawling on the ceiling and everything was, I mean, as expected. Um, uh, oh my God, what the hell's his name? Adam Scott was a good Ben Parker. But Adam Scott is just a great actor.
Right,
For those of you who aren't familiar, this movie takes place before Peter Parker was born.
right. It's
Uh,
2003, I believe, or
yeah,
2004,
that's
something like
still like, oh, that happened. And I was like, wait, shit, what? Um, yeah. So this is before Spider-Man. We got Madam Web. Um, that's kind of all I got going for it.
that.
Um, the 10 seconds of the spider people actually in their suits at the
Right.
fucking end of the movie
Hmm.
uh was kind of fun to see, but again, like it, with the trailers promoting them in their suits so much, having them in there as a like time jump to the future of this is what I saw of you three of, and that voiceover of I saw destiny and strength and insert kitschy like empowerment monologue here type thing. It's just it was hard to sit through, and even after 2 beers.
Yeah. It it didn't. If we're to believe that these three women are going to get their powers, so I guess the next question would be how do they get their powers? When will
Did you
they get
see the
their
TikTok
powers?
I sent you?
I'm not sure.
There was one I sent like yesterday or today or something of like the justification that the director gave when someone asked about that was like, oh, well, we didn't want to have too much origin in one movie. Well, could you fucking give us some?
Yeah, because we got none. I guess if you want to say Madam Web, we got Madam Web's origin because she did
Blind.
end up in her comic form, blinded and in a wheelchair. Um, Lots of confusion. Not just me, but my sons as well. Lots of confusion is what. Okay, okay. So this was the second time she fell into the water. So how's this time the time that she gets
Paralyzed.
paralyzed? And how did she go blind? I was like, oh, I think a firework went off in her face, but I'm not real sure.
I think that's what they tried to get at, but like it wasn't clear.
It was not clear at all. No, no.
When did they
And
announce this movie?
was that
When did they announce this movie?
a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe? Long time ago. So that means, and I mean, clearly the original word we got was that this was going to be some sort of like a Terminator type thing where Ezekiel was going to try and prevent the birth of Peter Parker. Spider-Man, and Madam Webb and these three spiders were tasked with stopping him. I think that's the movie we deserve to get, and
Yeah.
we didn't get it. And that is a way more interesting movie, I think, just off that premise, than what we got.
There was there was some interview with Dakota Johnson. It was like the first script I saw was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, she's been doing a bang up job promoting this thing, hasn't she?
By the way, for the record, this is gin. This ain't water.
Oh, I have a Merlot.
Ooh. Nice Chablis.
Yeah, dry red. I love them. But it didn't give me anything to hang my hat on and say, okay, well, this aspect of the movie was good or that was good. It was like you mentioned earlier. The script was bad, plot was bad. It was wooden acting. Uh, some of the situations made no sense. Stealing cars, leaving kids in the woods after they were just almost murdered. Kids leaving said woods to go to a diner to dance on a table.
At
What
one
do we do?
point, like 10 minutes into the movie, someone, I think Cassandra said something that had some weird inflection to it. And I leaned over to my friend and I was like, all I can think of is, Anakin, you're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow. Obi-Wan said you killed younglings. Like, it was that same, like, wispy, windy, like, okay, can we stop overreacting? Like, fuck me. Like, I hate sand, course,
It's cause it gets
gets
everywhere.
everywhere. For fuck's sake, like, have an emotion.
No, no, there
It's
was none.
this really does not give me hope for the future. Like, there's not really anything I can hang on to from here. Like, as you said, nothing I can hang my hat on. Like,
For the
I,
Sony Spider
yeah,
Verse.
for the Sonyverse period, I am aggressively nothinging Craven. Like I don't they could scrap Craven and I would go, okay, that's fair. That's if Craven is anything like this movie, scrap it now and write it off.
And just be done with it. You know, and that so the difference between Craven and this, Craven's trailer actually looked almost kind of decent,
Yeah.
like something that would make you want to actually go out and watch the film. Whereas this one,
Even the trailer, you and I were both like, I have no idea what this movie's going to be walking into it. None.
right, and that's what we got, a nun film.
And it's one thing, and that's not to say trailers have to be specific and outline the entire plot. On the contrary, I don't think they should.
They shouldn't
Look at
exactly.
something like Avengers Endgame. We all had background knowledge of what was going to happen, but it didn't actually. It started with the like, there was an idea, and then it changes to Captain America to bring together a group of individuals, to protect the world when we could, like, and it went through that Nick Fury thing, but there wasn't really, you didn't know what was going to happen. A better, more recent example is the Deadpool trailer.
Yes,
No, you saw the TVA, you saw Deadpool, you were teased Wolverine, but you didn't actually really see Hugh Jackman as
right,
Wolverine.
right.
Like, so we still don't necessarily know the plot, how the TVA is going to be involved. And because it's Ryan Reynolds, they could have just shot that trailer just for shits and giggles, and it could be about something completely different and not that at all because Ryan Reynolds likes to fuck with us. So, like, there was so much in there that was not useful in the Madam Web trailer. Like there was nothing. It wasn't even a good teaser. It fell flat. The movie fell flat. Like the one thing that you can say is that the trailer at the excitement I had at the end of the trailer was equivalent to the excitement I had at the end of the movie. There was none.
There was none. Exactly. That's true. That's true. It's unfortunate because you know whenever whenever you take the time out, you take them spend money. Like I always do, I take
And
my
movies ain't cheap.
sons. And right, it ain't cheap. Um, for the ticket, for the gas, and for the time, because that you just can't get back.
Yeah.
Uh, and to be soundly disappointed. I know a lot of people are thinking that okay, so it was a bad comic book. It was a bad uh, Spider Verse movie. No, no, no. This was just a straight up
This was a bad
bad
movie.
film. It was just bad. And you hate to you know come on our podcast and say that, but at the same time, we have to be honest. We have to be real, and we have to give our thoughts on it
We said
and
coming in, we're gonna
perspective.
give you our honest opinions. We're gonna tell you when we like stuff and tell you when we don't.
Yeah, and there was absolutely nothing to like in this movie. Well, my 12-year-old liked Sydney Sweeney, of course. He's a big fan now.
Mm.
But even for us, that wasn't even a redeeming
Yeah.
thing. Maybe if we get instead of 10 seconds of them in their suits, maybe if we get 10 minutes of running around fighting and web slinging and going all through the city, maybe that would have given us something. But there was little to no action, bad dialogue, bad ADR, dubbing
Yeah, that,
over the
oh my
lines,
God, the voicing.
things that just didn't make any sense. Again, if we're in the early 2000s,
Oh, I thought
that's
of something that I didn't
sure.
hate.
Okay.
Cassandra's costume was, and her makeup was actually pretty good and pretty standard to the comics.
The final scene.
Yeah. So it was a pretty comic accurate thing with the visor and the red coat and everything. And like I could tell who her character was trying to be.
Okay.
There, one positive thing.
There's one positive. Now, would it have, again, like we talked about, would it have been a better, more engaging film? I guess I'll put it that way. A more engaging film had had the film started at that point. So at that point, she's already the Madam Web that she was at the end. We start the film there. We go through her understanding because she sees the future as well now too. So she knows that this guy needs to be taken out. If we go through her recruiting the three ladies
Mhm.
to help her to go on this mission, because I've foreseen that you three are the ones that are going to help me to get rid of this guy or this group, or it could have been anyone at that point, anything at that point. Would that have been a better film? What if they had taken all the references away from Peter Parker, Ben Parker, Mary Parker, all the references away from the Parkers, because it that almost seemed like it was shoehorned in as a wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the audience. Like, okay, okay, you're not gonna see Spider-Man here, but we're like Spider-Man adjacent. We kind of sort of got some of his family in there, yeah. So it's you know just just weird things happening. You know?
Yeah, I wonder this movie almost had a hint of Ed Norton Hulk to it. Like a
Mm.
stylistic choicing, like choice wise made.
The camera zooms on the faces, that
Yeah.
thing.
So I wonder, like I'm almost trying to think if this movie came out when it took place,
In 2003,
would it have done better?
I
And because we now have a context for superhero movies, has that tainted and almost subconsciously created a standard that was created a bad hand for this movie to play?
I would say yes. Had it come out in the early 2000s, it probably would have been received a little bit better. However, the comic or superhero aspect of the film is not what made this particular film bad. It is that it was just plain old bad. Now, I get what you're saying. In the early 2000s, before the MCU started, when we're right around the time when, like you said, the Hulk was
Hulk,
out,
Blade,
coming off of some Blade and all that stuff.
Batfleck,
Certainly,
Matt.
certainly, we could have rolled this in there, and then it would have been just taken. Okay, this is the early 2000s. I mean, they had early 2000s CGI in this shit too. So, so yes, it could have worked, but unfortunately, unfortunately, this was just a bad film. So the way I look at the superhero films or the comic book films, and also being a good movie, I look at Joker. Okay, character based on a comic book
I'm
character.
smiling because I'm remembering the first things my friend and I said when we walked out of the theater. Like, I'm uncomfortable with how much I liked that movie.
Right. So I actually watched it on a flight, and oh, we're gonna have to review that. So
Well,
mark that down.
especially because Folie à Deux is coming out.
Yes, yes. So mark that down, fans. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get that review. Spoiler alert: we both loved it. But if one thing I say, I have a friend who hasn't seen the movie, who has no intentions on seeing it, simply because he kind of had the same thoughts of how do you have a Joker movie without Batman? So from that, no, I don't want to see it. It's not going to work for me. Try to explain to him, like, hey, this, you got to give it a chance. You gotta just put the, put that thought out of your head. Watch it. It's a great film. Had that film been called Arthur,
Mm.
no one knew what this character was, who this character was. It's just a film about a guy named Arthur. And then you go in and you watch it, and then you get all the way to the end and you realize, holy shit, that's Joker. I mean, it was already Best Picture and he won Best Actor, but
Well
that
deserved.
oh,
Well deserved.
1,000%. But now we're spoiling everything. We're spoiling everything. But anyway, I'm saying all that to say, had this movie been a great movie, then we would have been able to put it in a different category. Would have been able to rank it differently. We could always say, hey, this was a great movie. Didn't have anything to do with Spider-Man, didn't have anything to do with MCU or any of the other stuff, but it was a great movie. They put out a great script, great cinematography. It was just well done. Then we would judge this differently, but
And
it
we've
wasn't.
seen that before too, because people liked Venom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen that style, even tiptoeing around the Spider-Verse. We've seen Spider-Man adjacent movies not turn into the Hindenburg.
Right.
Like,
Yes,
so we know it's possible to
it's
do a
definitely possible.
good superhero adjacent movie
Yes, yes, can
or
be done.
superhero adjacent series.
Can be done. Yes,
This was neither of those.
right. So it has nothing to do with superhero fatigue or, you know, Marvel's been doing so bad recently, we don't want to watch anything. And DCEU is in the garbage. We don't want to watch anything. No, no, no. This was just a bad movie.
This was just a bad movie.
If you go through and you look at the cast that you have in there, so again, Dakota Johnson, Adam Scott, Sydney Sweeney, Emma Roberts. You have Emma Roberts in your film, and she gets 5 minutes of screen time with a random pregnancy storyline. There's no way. There's no way you're telling me that that was the original plan when they did the casting and casted Emma Roberts. There's just no way.
It was a disrespect to Emma Robb. Like
1,000%. So it's just there was, you know, we can speculate forever. We'll never know the truth. Was there studio interference? Was it just a bad script that they tried to work out? But again, like we said, Dakota Johnson said the first script, key word there, first script she read was great. You know, I'd be interested to see what that
Mhm.
script was like.
And also the lines of like, well, have you seen this movie? Haven't watched this movie. Do you watch other movies? Or yeah, I've seen all of them. But you haven't watched this one? Nope, haven't watched this one.
Yeah, yeah, that's saying a lot.
Yeah. That's just that is a 100% vote of no confidence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It just
But after watching it, you kind of can see why.
yeah. I'm if one redeeming thing can happen from this, something the next whether it's in Deadpool or some other variant of Loki, I guess now pun intended, um, ends up just like making some comment and like pruning this timeline from existence. That's the best thing that can happen to this.
I it's almost unbelievable in this day and age that a major studio can put out or would be bold enough to put out something like this.
And we lost Batgirl.
Yes. Trashed it.
Now, I bet if after this movie bombed, if they released Batgirl, DC Warner Brothers would make a shitload.
Exactly. But they've already written it off, so it'll never see the light of day. Not sure how that's even possible, but you know,
Someone will leak it.
no, it's been destroyed, apparently.
No, it hasn't.
Even the directors tried to he said he tried to film it on his cell phone and couldn't. So
It's still sitting on some server somewhere. It's in a backup file log. It's still there.
yeah, we were given this.
Like the fans deserve better. I don't know if society does. As a general whole. Like the world sucks, society's crumbling, but the fans of superhero movies deserved better.
Agreed. And you know, just thinking about this now, we understand that Sony owns the rights to all the Spider-Man and Spider-Man adjacent
Yeah.
characters for the big screen, and I guess video games too. all that IP, and you come up with a plan. You formulate a plan to make all these adjacent films, your Venoms, your Madam Webbs, your Craven the Hunters, with no connection to Spider-Man because they have to deal with the with Marvel to have him in the MCU. I've never read any of the Madam Web comics or any of the comics of the other three characters in the film, right? So that takes me out of having any background
I
knowledge
had
of
no background to this.
right of what was supposed to be. That being said, again, I know what a good movie is. I know what a bad movie. So we take all the superhero stuff out of it and just look at this. It is just a plain old bad movie. Not very good at all.
It's because it was an all-women cast and a female director, and you hate women.
It is. I am misogynist. Party of one over here. That's
Womanizer, table for two, womanizer.
clearly that's the reason why the movie was
That's
terrible.
gonna that audio clip's gonna come back in 5 years because someone's gonna take it out of context. Like, no, no, you said it, you said it.
That was you. That was you. I swear it. You said
Oh, I just canceled us. Well, it's
it.
been a great run, guys.
We tried it again. But
Still more positive reviews than Madam Web.
right. Ooh, imagine that.
Yeah, we've gotten a positive review.
That's all it takes. And it's just again, just it's just unfortunate because I'm sure, I'm sure for the most part the cast was all in, you know, happy to make this film. They were probably sold on, hey, this is going to be the start of something. Hence, if you look at where the movie ended, clearly there could be more going forward. Um, but we would still have to start looking at, okay, well, how do they get their powers? Maybe they all fly to Peru and all get bit by spiders. Uh, Cassandra hooks up with her homeboy in Peru and like, hey, get my girl some powers, and then they all got powers. Who
Her,
knows?
her not Kulkulkan people.
Yeah. So it's just, gosh, I don't, I, I, I can't even form words right now. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
And
like
we're,
the only word
we're
I'm
gonna have to cut and bounce all those
the
awkward
only word
pauses.
I'm coming up with is like it's an embarrassment of a movie for 2024.
Yes,
Like
yes,
the production quality, the writing, the lack of enthusiasm with the acting, the disorganization of it, the marketing of it, the where the movie left, the character lack of development, like it's just an embarrassment of a movie. I've written many like short stories that are more engaging than this movie.
yes,
I have friends who have written scripts like mock movie scripts that are more engaging than this.
yeah. It just
It's an embarrassment of a movie. And I, that
put in
to
put
be
in
clear,
theaters.
I don't hold like the actresses necessarily completely accountable. Like I'm not blaming Dakota Johnson for this entire movie.
I
I think
think
it's a
they
shared blame between the writers, the directors, the lackadaisical acting, the production company, the studio, the greenlit. Like it's everyone. This is
it's a
not a
combination of everything.
targeted. This is not a Dakota Johnson fuck this whole movie and that's why it sucked. No, it's not what happened. That's not what we're saying. Everyone dropped the ball.
Yes, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And again, it's incredibly unfortunate. But you just what you just said just makes total sense. And this in 2024,
When
a
you
movie
see
like
what
this,
people, what homemade movies put out, like look at all those
yeah,
fan-made Star Wars movies.
yeah. On a shoestring budget. I shot this on my iPhone.
Hashtag shot on an iPhone like 7 or something. And like the Sony cameras that they got now, like
Yeah. You gotta be at some point you need to take accountability and just be ashamed of this. Hey, listen, we fucked up. It's
you done fucked up, Balake.
yeah. So it's incredibly unfortunate. But I don't even know what else to say. I could and again this was released in theaters. It wasn't even like straight to streaming, straight to DVR, straight to
This can get locked.
VOD,
This can get locked in the
Tubi.
Disney Channel original movie vault
Yeah, yeah.
forever.
Well, I guess Sony doesn't have a streaming service, so they would have had to license it to someone, and ain't nobody buying that shit.
I mean, I guess the only thing left to say is how many what's our rating scale? How many disappointments out of 10?
How many webs?
Yeah,
No, we can't do disappointments because it would be high.
10 out of 10 disappointments.
Yeah. Oh man. How many spider bites?
How many spider people out of 10?
Oh man. I almost don't even want to give it a rating because I don't think it could even get a rating on
The
any
only
stream.
reason I would is because I enjoyed the lunch I had before the movie. Went to
There you
Nando's,
go.
got the peri peri chicken, and it was chef's
We
kiss.
we had that for lunch today, actually.
Uh, hey, Nando's always good.
Yeah, really.
Always enjoy me some Nando's peri peri.
Yeah,
Like that was the best part was the lunch and the conversation I had with my friends.
excellent. Can never go wrong with that. Oh boy. Yeah. Uh,
Do better, Sony. Just do better. The animated Spider-Verse movies are incredible.
yes. The video games are
Why
incredible.
can't you take that writing and plot development and put it into live action? It's not hard.
Or maybe it is. Maybe we're looking at it all. Maybe they know better. I tried. Again, I really did. Oh man.
Yeah, don't waste your money. Just don't. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Not even for a matinee showing. It's not worth it.
Maybe when it starts to be on TBS or TNT on a random Thursday night, go ahead and watch it. But uh,
I'm thinking this whole podcast episode, I'm just gonna get the sound effect wrong. Wah, wah.
yeah, it's we tried. We tried. The old college effort. We gave it. Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Well, if anyone disagrees with us, let us know. I
Yeah.
am if but if you disagree with us, my one requirement is to list 5 movies you think are really good movies.
so that we can see your taste.
Yeah. Um, thank you for suffering through this with us.
I appreciate it.
If you watch this movie, I'm sorry. If you didn't watch this movie, you're welcome.
Yes.
Um, tune in next week for more.
We'll be back.
What are we doing? We're doing Percy Jackson next week.
We can,
You
certainly.
got caught up on that?
I am not caught up, but I can be caught up by next week.
Yeah, let's do Percy Jackson next week. That's actually a positive mood
Yeah,
review.
good show. Good show. Good show.
We also got The Last Airbender that started coming out on Netflix.
Mhm.
So that should be coming soon. And then yeah, there's a couple things brewing. I'd
Yeah,
say.
yeah. News and notes should be coming soon. So got a lot of stuff to talk about. So stick with us. Hopefully we won't get any more super duds like this. But if we do, we'll let you know that too.
Yeah. Alrighty. Take care, guys. Thank you all for joining us, and until the next round.
Good night, everyone.